in the sense that, of course, you can go to Doomie's and get an absolutely amazing vegan dessert. I mean, not just saying that because he's here. I tell that to everybody.
I don't care. I didn't make it.
You can go to Walmart and their apple pie is accidentally vegan. Yeah. And how am I going to? Their Trader Joe's cinnamon rolls in a pop can, and not only Trader Joe's, but at other places, cinnamon rolls in a pop can are usually accidentally vegan. How am I going to make a better recipe than taking a piece of warm apple pie, putting a big old scoop of vegan ice cream on it, and putting some sauce on it?
So there's no excuse not to have a vegan dessert.
Yeah. I mean, it's a solved problem in the world. You can get a Duncan Hines cake mix in a box.
Right.
It costs $1, and German chocolate cake, absolutely delicious. And you just use egg replacer instead of the eggs, and it's vegan. And so many. So that's why, to me, I mean, I love desserts, but I mean, I can't make a better recipe than having a cinnamon roll, a cinnamon bun with some apple pie filling on top, and some other things. Then so I'm not gonna focus on that. I'm gonna focus on what I consider not an obviously solved problem. And all those vegan desserts that I mentioned are cheap.
Yes.
Like it's good, it's cheap.
Yeah, that speaks to me.
It's done.
Yeah, and your recipes you pride yourself on I guess I'm
being
putting this wrong way. It's very cheap.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I think the reason why, one of the main reasons why I started the show is to show people that when I first started, I thought my food tasted pretty good.
Right.
It wasn't that difficult to make, and it was really cheap. Kind of three things that people thought veganism wasn't.
And your production values, even though you do everything yourself, does not look cheap.
Oh well, thank you.
This video will look cheap.
This
video will sound cheap. Your videos do not look and sound cheap, and I admire that you do it all yourself. First off, you say it takes you about an hour and a half, 2 hours to put on makeup.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Why?
It's white and black. What's the problem?
It's the pattern within the white that takes so long. Because I have to basically cover my face in white, and then I have to sort of cut out a negative of the black with like a Q-tip or whatnot.
Right.
And then start going over it with the black.
Right.
And to make the pattern. And it just and also suiting up in all the armor.
The armor I can see.
It just takes
so it's not just the makeup. It's
It's
like a half hour. The armor's about an hour.
No, other way around.
Okay.
Other way around.
All right.
So how difficult is it to move around in it?
We suffer for our fashion.
Yeah.
But your fashion is not leather, because black metal.
It is not leather.
Black metal in theory, because what do you consider black metal? Because I'm trying to figure it out.
I mean,
if Black Diamonds or King Diamonds on the
some of the classic bands that people will have heard of.
Mayhem.
Mayhem, Gorgoroth.
Right.
Dimmu Borgir would be more like modern pop black metal.
Bathory.
Bathory was like on the border of like.
Cradle of Filth's not quite there.
No, and Cradle of Filth definitely considered to be black metal, and I mean Immortal Emperor like.
Right. I was gonna say Emperor, yeah. Because I saw the only thing about black metal that I know is I know the makeup, and I saw the documentary, which is fascinating.
Yeah, Until the Light Takes Us.
That's pretty fascinating. But I mean, I don't regularly. I guess I don't know if I would know if what I'm listening to is black metal or not, or death metal or whatever.
It's pretty distinguishable. If you all you need is to have someone with you for half an hour.
Okay.
Play some songs and say, "This is black metal. Right. This is death metal. Right. This is black and death." Right. Like Behemoth or something.
Right.
And,
okay, so there's black and death.
Well, yeah. Some. I mean, there's mixtures of every genre.
And you're in black metal bands down in Florida. You live in Orlando now?
No. I live in LA now.
Oh wow.
Okay. I moved here from Orlando about 2.5 years ago.
So you're both musicians and chefs.
Right, because when you think musicians and vegan, you think Moby, Morrissey. You don't think black metal.
Now we do.
You should.
Yes.
I mean,
you fucking should.
Yes, and death rock, which is your specialty.
I don't know. My specialty is shoegaze.
Shoegaze? I love shoegaze. Yeah.
Shoegaze.
Yeah. Have you been in a shoegaze band?
Yeah, of course.
What band?
I've had a couple of shoegaze bands.
Well, tell me the names.
I had a band called Pumalin. years ago.
Okay.
And then more recently a band called Red Lily. I had a solo project called My Bandaged Heart.
Right.
Punk bands. I used to punk band called Punch and Munchkins. Been in all sorts of goth bands for other people.
Right.
Been in industrial bands, but don't tell anybody.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Is
Whatever.
Khaki
I'm a-
King
I'm a band
considered
whore. I don't
shoegaze?
care. Is who?
Khaki King?
I don't even know. I'm fucking out of the loop, man. I'm in the
Yeah.
restaurant world now.
Yeah, so how did you get in the restaurant
Terrible.
world? How did you go from doing tacos on the side of Das Bunker to, I'm gonna open up a restaurant?
Well, as Brian was saying, early on, vegan food was fucking terrible, right? We all know this.
Vegan sprouts.
Yeah, and just
Sprouts are good.
vegan food was terrible. Vegan restaurants were terrible, and there's so many vegan and vegetarian people in my life because of the scene. So I would end up at all these places, and they were all terrible. I didn't understand why, because they didn't have to be terrible. I could see.
They didn't have to be, right? It's like a
Exactly.
lot of the things that one would
Right.
make now, it could have existed.
It could have existed back then, but nobody did it because nobody at the time really understood like the movement of what was happening with people.
Mm-hmm.
So what you had at the time was you had healthy restaurants or restaurants that understood veganism as a health thing, making comfort food versions of health food that were like standing on this fence of fucking shit and crap.
Right.
And it was terrible.
Right.
And I was just looking at it going, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, someday I'm just gonna open a restaurant and do this.
And you did.
Yeah, why not? Right? Fuck it.
Well,
I can do it.
When you were a sponsor, I used to astonish guests and tell them what was on your menu. I still astonish people and tell them what's on your
Burgers and fried crap. That's what I tell people.
So
Fried
When they-
chicken.
It's done so well.
Philly cheesesteaks, nachos. The nachos were voted one of the 10 best nachos in LA from LA
Oh,
Weekly.
yeah, that's true.
The only one without meat.
Yeah.
And I saw your nachos; they look good too.
Not just
Nachos.
I
Nachos,
And
right?
it didn't seem like it was that big a deal to do vegan nachos.
I made a taco salad this
Right.
morning with TVP that's existed forever.
Forever, right? This
Right,
shit's
yeah.
been around forever.
I had shrimp scampi once. I had shrimp po' boy last time I was there.
Oh my.
How do you do that?
We find the best things out there, manipulate them to make them even better, and then put details into them when we make them.
Ah,
It's all about details.
okay. So there's little secrets.
Yeah, but that's any restaurant. That's
Yeah.
the thing. There's a difference between good and great.
Right.
Because whether it's a vegan restaurant or a regular restaurant, whatever it is, come in.
It's just a
The
ghost.
door.
It's the ghost of
For those of
carnivores.
you
Don't worry
who
about
listen.
it.
Yeah, whether it's a taqueria or a burger place or whatever, vegan or not, everybody has the ability to make the same great product, but they don't because they don't understand the details of how to make it great. So like when you look at like, LA's got a million taquerias, but everybody you'll see one that's just crazy busy, and then there'll be one on each side of it that's just dead. Or you go to a Thai
Right.
restaurant, and there's that one that everybody goes to that same fucking Thai restaurant, it's amazing, and there's one right next door and it's dead. Burger place, the same thing. Why? Why is one amazing? Everybody talks about one, and then the other ones are just like, nah, it's details.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. It's details. It's understanding food, understanding how to make food great. What a perfect dish is, what a perfect, specific thing is, or how to get there, and to put those details in it. And then what I do is I design a perfect dish, a perfect, item, so that my cooks can fuck it up and make it great.
Okay.
That's it.
So it's made with love. That's what my friend always says. Your food always tastes so good because it's made with love. That's what she says to me because you care about putting that much detail into it, making it great for
I don't know if
everyone.
it's love or if it's just compulsiveness to not have it suck.
And then
I don't
people
know.
must insist there's meat in it because it just tastes so good. It tastes such
There's a
like
lot of fat and grease and salt and
Yeah.
stuff like that in it.
right.
Well, which carries the
Which is
flavor.
good,
yeah.
in lots of stuff.
By no means am I trying to say that it's health food.
Oh no.
Oh, no, it's
No,
a
no,
cheat
Nobody
day
would
food.
never
No.
would ever say that.
Yeah.
But nobody would go into, like a regular burger joint or whatever and be like,
Yeah.
this is health food. It's
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
It's not what
Right.
it's not what you went there for.
Mhm.
If you want a salad bowl, then go to the salad bowl place. That's fine.
Oh yeah, all my
Happy for
vegan
that.
friends are like, "Oh, cheat day, I'm going to Doomie."
Yeah, it's a
I'm
cheat
like,
day
awesome.
place. or in the case of guys like ourselves, the regular.
Yeah,
everyday
yeah,
flavor,
cheat days every day.
Every day, yeah. So
It's